It's the most challenging week of my life. Looks like this bridge got fucked. This is where we have to cross instead. One of my favorite campsites so far.
Wow, so pretty. Sup, dudes? I'm Will Roquemore, trail name Laststrap. Approaching mile 900 in the High Sierra forced me to look at things a little differently. This last stretch completely humbled me, pushing me harder mentally and emotionally than anything else in my entire life. I've been processing internal turmoil, enduring freezing nights, and trying to find myself through this journey. So what do you guys think will be the first thing I do when I make it to Mammoth Lakes? Do me a favor real quick and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get it.
I just thought of something that I'm wearing this shirt for the first time hiking. I've worn my sun shirt every single day, but it's overcasty. There's supposed to be a storm coming in today. So I'm gonna try to make it to Mammoth Lakes before that happens and before the post office closes. I just got over the first pass. It was really pretty, and it's mostly downhill to the exit. So I feel like I can make it. I'm gonna try and hurry, but there's another pass. I gotta go over Mammoth Lakes Pass once I get to the exit. So that's another 3.5 miles. I thought it was only gonna be 15 miles today, but I missed looking at how far it is to the trolley pickup from the exit, but on my way. It is snowing. This could be nasty. Uh-oh. $900 miles, baby! Yeah! Hell yeah. So after 900 miles, I just want to reflect a little bit on this last week. I know I've talked about how it was the most challenging week of my life. Pushed myself mentally, physically, emotionally, harder than I ever have, even through whatever trauma I've gone through in my life, whatever work stuff I've done, whatever creative stuff I've done. This was by far the most I've put myself through. I'm extremely humbled. I think I was getting a little cocky, feeling good, coming out of the desert, 700 miles, stoked on the Sierras. But I've never been through terrain like this. I haven't filmed a lot of the terrain. I'm mostly just filming the beautiful landscapes, but I've still got a week of the Sierras to go, so maybe I'll do a little bit more of that. It's basically up and down, very steep at points, over the passes especially. And then once you get close to the pass, like, 1,000 feet, the terrain just gets really difficult. John Muir, I think it was probably the most challenging terrain with all the snow, the rocks and the scrambling and the wet feet constantly river crossing. And I've pushed myself to not put in headphones, to stay connected to nature, to process all my thoughts, to think hardly and deeply about how I want to become a better person through this. I think it was really healthy. I've basically come to terms with the loss of one of the most important relationships ever in my life. Moved on from like the denial stage to the acceptance stage, and I just keep going back between anger and sadness. I'm getting through it now that I am accepting it, now that I am seeing what I'm capable of, seeing how I do, completely solitary and with the most grueling solo adventure. It's gonna be 9 passes, I think, in 7 days. You can't come through something like that and not come out a better person on the other side, not come out stronger, more independent, and more confident, but also humbled. When you look at it that way, it kind of puts things into perspective in the sense that you can't come out here and not want to leave making it a better place. But I love you all. Thanks for listening, following along. This is my side quest in life, the Pacific Crest Trail. Talking about, man. Should be rolling up on the junction to Mammoth Pass soon. About a half mile. Cute little bridge. People coming northbound on the John Muir Trail. So there I was, hiking along, pushing myself to make it to the trolley on time. And then out of nowhere, there's Chris, Sprinter.
If you've been following along since the beginning, you may remember Sprinter from Kennedy Meadow South. Sprinter's a legendary trail angel that followed a tramley I started with called the Caterpillar all the way up the trail from damn near day one. Be sure to check out the interview I conducted with him where we talk about his experience hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 1979. It's nuts.
Shows up with sparkling waters, trail magic, and we've been hiking together since, so definitely a needed win for the end of the day. Stoked to get to Mammoth. Hell yeah, brother! McLeod Lake,
Yep.
Ansel Adams Wilderness.
Highest lake in the Lakes Basin of Mammoth Lakes.
Trail magic.
We got last trap. Last trap, doing shotgun.
About time I get the royal service. Here's the shoe I'm getting rid of, one of the two. They both look pretty similar. So it's beat up. I feel like I could probably get another 100 miles out of it. The tread is pretty worn. Here's the new one. Oh yeah. Now, if you saw the last few episodes, you may be asking yourself why I'm raving about shoes and not mentioning how excited I am for my cold weather gear, especially considering how many times I complained about not having it through the last section. My gear didn't show up. Still don't have my cold weather clothing. My base layer is puffy. And without my cold weather gear, so my warm gear got bounced. I don't have any like cold weather layers. It's so cold, I'm freezing my feckin' nips off. Because I froze to death, but I've been freezing my tits off. Hopefully don't freeze again tonight. Promise not to hate me? Well, I decided to send it all back home. I checked the weather forecast throughout the next week in the Sierras ahead of me. I know, anything can change, but it definitely appeared like the chances that the lows getting below freezing, even at the highest elevations, were nil. I had a few super cold nights, I survived them, I'm going to bank on doing it again, worst case scenario. Only 7 more days and I'm in the clear. I did get a sweet new sun hoodie though. Stoked. Just zeroed in Mammoth Lakes. Back to Horseshoe Lake where we're gonna hit the trail. I'm back with Ranger. Gonna spend the next few days together and go up to Yosemite Hot Springs tonight. Hopefully a short, easy day because my pack is super heavy. I've got like 7 days of food. I'm trying to go all the way to Kennedy Meadows North on one resupply. So we'll see how that goes. I hiked about 400 miles with Ranger in the SoCal Desert and we met back up in Mammoth Lakes. We decided to bring a 6-pack of beer down to Red's Meadow, which is a really awesome campground with a deep tub hot spring. We decided to spend the night chilling and having fun because we had it all to ourselves for the night of the new moon. After knocking a couple back and getting a pretty righteous buzz, I went out to the middle of a meadow to get a time lapse of the stars. I set up my GoPro and saved the location in my watch to make sure I could find it the next day. I definitely got lost, drunk in the dark, and when I finally got back, Ranger was like, "You got lost, didn't you?" Yeah. But here's the time lapse of the stars during the new moon. Just getting out of our campground from last night, Red's Meadow. We had hot springs. It was one of my favorite campsites so far. Now we're headed up to Devil's Postpile and continuing our trek toward Yosemite National Park.
Oh, there's some too. Kinda.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Looks like this bridge got fucked. Hopefully that guy down there is having better luck.
I don't like it!
So this is where we have to cross instead. fucking wobbly. Whew. That waterfall's crazy. So funny how crazy they were all going, then as soon as we start filming, they stop. Stayed at Thousand Island Lake last night. So beautiful. It's about 7 a.m. Pretty much ready to go. Just gotta throw that shit in my pack and break my tent down, but look at how gorgeous this is. Mosquitoes are horrible. Had so many mice messing with me last night. They chewed up the mesh to my pot. We're running along my tent. I'm glad they didn't chew any of that up so far as I've noticed yet. Ranger's not feeling good. She thinks she might be coming down with something or have some bad allergies. She's got sinus stuff going on, but we were planning on doing 20 miles today to get all the way to Yosemite National Park, where we can do a mini resupply, but we'll see. It's gonna be a long, hard day if that's the case.
Now, when they talk about mosquito hell, it's no joke. I've never in my life seen clouds of mosquitoes so thick as I did at Thousand Island Lake. But the good news is I'm almost to Yosemite National Park and I've never been there. Not to mention, Ranger has informed me that her friend Dan will be picking us up and got us passes for a sick side quest, Cloud's Rest. I recently had my nerd bone tickled about some history in this area. When I saw the Ansel Adams Wilderness sign with Sprinter earlier, it got me thinking, who the fuck is that? Well, apparently bro was a boss. Most people know him as the dude who took sick black and white photos of Yosemite, but he was actually a badass hiker and activist. He fell so deeply in love with the raw chaos of these mountains that he made it his life's mission to protect them. He used his photography as a weapon, literally bringing his prints straight to Congress to prove to politicians in Washington that places like this were too sacred to be mined, logged, or dammed up for commercial profit. In 1984, just a few months after he passed away, the government renamed this entire 230,000-acre wilderness after him. It's so insane to me to think that a guy with a hobby capturing mountains with a camera on a side quest completely changed the map of California. And the history out here runs even deeper than that. Long before Ansel, these high mountain passes were ancient trading routes. For thousands of years, the Paiute and Washoe tribes crossed these exact gaps at 10 and 11,000 feet, trading obsidian from the eastern desert for acorns from the western foothills. When I stop and look at this trail, I realize how privileged I am to be borrowing space on a highway that's been active for millennia. Pushing all these miles with no headphones gives my brain a lot of room to wander. I really appreciate the grit and spirit of the people who preserved this dirt, who loved this land and treated it with a level of respect modern man may never compare to again. A lifetime of history has been walked through here, and even though I've never been a very spiritual person, I'm not fucking around when I say I can feel its energy. If you got anything out of this, please take a second real quick and hit that subscribe button and make sure to tune in for upcoming videos. Can't thank you enough for the support.
So we're camped here in mosquito hell, swarmed by mosquitoes.
Unfucking real.
Sucker for side quests. I have a GoPro, but I don't know how to use it.